This is a short introduction to Gimp. When starting Gimp, you will see 3 separate windows. This window is where the images will be displayed. As you can see, you can move the windows around to fit your needs. This window is where the tools are located. This window is for the layers, brushes, and more. To demonstrate how layer in Gimp works, we will create a new image. We set the size to 300 by 300 pixels. You can also choose from any predefined templates. A blank document is created. A default layer is also created. We click on the Create New Layer icon to add a new layer. We shall call it Layer 1 and leave the fill type to transparent. The new layer is created on top of the background layer. We choose the brush tool and draw a simple shape on the new layer. We now create another layer and name it Layer 2. We change the color to green and then draw a new shape on Layer 2. We can draw over Layer 1 as Layer 2 is on a separate layer. Finally, we create the last layer, Layer 3. Now we change the color to red and draw a simple shape on Layer 3. We can now use the Move tool to move the layers around. As the layers are separate from each other, we can adjust them without affecting the other layers. Notice how the bottom layers will stay under the top layers, even when moved around. We raise the layer up so that they will now be on top of other layers. As you can see, Layer 1 is now on top of the other layers. Layer 3 is now under Layer 1. We can also shift layers down. Layer 1 is now between Layer 3 and 2. Now Layer 2 is in the middle. We can also make a copy of a layer. We have made a copy of Layer 3 and we can move them around and change their position separately. Each layer's opacity can also be adjusted. This determines how transparent the layers are. Next, we change also the mode of the layers. This determines how the layers interact with each other. There are many different modes. Each will cause the layer to interact differently. As each layer's mode can be changed individually, we can get almost unlimited effects. To delete a layer, we select the layer and press the Delete Layer icon. When a layer is deleted, all its information will be removed. As the background is also a layer, it too can be moved or even deleted. We will create a new layer. This is to show that layers can be set as invisible by clicking the eye icon next to the layer. This will only hide the layer and not delete it. Next, we will show what most of the tools in the toolbox can do. First, we need to open an image to play with. As you can see, the image is a bit big, so we will reduce the size. We use Image, then Scale Image. A new window opens. We can scale the image using pixels, percentage, or other measuring methods. We will scale the image by 50%. As the aspect ratio is locked, the height will be automatically changed. We then click the Scale button to scale the image. We can now adjust the window size to fit the image size. The first row in the toolbox is the Selection Tools. There is the Rectangle tool to select areas in a square or rectangle. The Ellipse tool will select shapes in an ellipse. The Lasso tool is used to select freehand shapes. The Fuzzy Selection tool is used to select areas with the same color by clicking and dragging. To select more than one area, hold down the Shift button while selecting colors. The Select by Color tool will select a specific color in the whole image. Another nice tool is the Eyedropper Tool. This will select a specific color and load it as the active color. This is handy as you won't draw the same color elsewhere. The Zoom tool magnifies the image. To zoom out, hold the Control button. The Measure tool is used to measure distances in pixels and degrees. This comes in handy when creating precise graphics. The Move tool is used to move layers around. The Crop tool is used to cut out a section of the image and delete the part outside of the selection. To finalize the crop, press Enter. The Rotate tool is used to rotate layers. A preview is shown. When done, press Enter or click Rotate to finalize the rotation. The Scale tool is used to scale layers. When done, press Enter or click Scale. The Perspective tool is used to change the perspective of a layer. Most often used to correct photos of paintings or frames. The Text tool can be used to add text to your scene. Simply click and start typing. All text is created in a new layer. The Paint Bucket tool or Fill tool is used to fill a section of your layer with a color. To undo any changes, use Ctrl and the Z button. The Gradient Fill tool will create a gradient from your primary color to your secondary color. Simply click and drag to create the gradient. The Pen tool simply creates pen strokes on your layer. Same goes for the Brush tool, but with more options. The Erase tool is used to erase a section of your layer. The Airbrush tool is used to simulate an airbrush. The more you go over one spot, the more the color will be applied there. The Ink tool is used to create calligraphy strokes. You can also change the shape of the tip being used. The Clone tool is used to copy a section of the layer to another section. This is used mostly to remove unwanted spots or sections of an image. The Patch tool is like the Stamp tool, but mostly used to remove small imperfections, like scars or pimples on a face. The Blur tool is used to blur out sections of the layer. It can be used to blur shadows that are too sharp. To sharpen the image, hold Ctrl down. The Smudge tool simulates a finger rubbing the layer to smudge it. It is very useful when creating a digital drawing. The Dodge and Burn tool is used to brighten up or darken sections of a layer. This can be used to adjust the tone of an image. Now we will explore the drop-down boxes. In the File tab you commonly use New, Open, Save and Print. The Edit tab you can use to undo actions as well as to cut, copy and paste selections. The Select tab is almost the same as the toolbox. The View tab is where you can adjust the zoom level, change to full screen and show a grid on your image. The Image tab is where you can change the mode or transform your image. You can also change the canvas size or scale the image. The Layer tab is much the same as the Layers window. In the Colors tab is where you can play with the colors of the image or layer. For example, you can change the hue and saturation of the image. You can also adjust the brightness and contrast. The image curves can also be changed. The Tools tab is similar to the Toolbox window. The Filters tab contains all the filters that can be applied to your images like blur, or emboss to make your image stand out more. Artistic filters can also be applied like cubism. Predator is also a nice artistic filter. The Oilify filter makes your image look like it has been painted. There are many other filters to play with. The Windows tab is for settings regarding the actual Windows, and the Help tab is for getting more help about something specific.